When reason sleeps, monsters are born. But some monsters don't just destroy, they evolve, they adapt. They perfect their monstrosity until it becomes indistinguishable from greatness. The blueprint is simpler than you'd think. Take one Austrian village. Make it small, make it suffocating. The kind of place where everyone knows your name, but wishes they didn't. Next, add a father figure. Marinate him in post-war bitterness and cheap schnapps. Small-town cop, big-time Nazi. The kind of man who polishes his authority like a badge, who slaps his kids for sport, who drinks because drinking is easier than thinking. The kind of man history barely notices except as a footnote, a loose end, a regret. A man who thinks breaking his sons will fix them. This is a man who's wrong. This is how you build an empire of the mind. This is how you create Arnold Schwarzenegger. When it comes to psychological warfare, you don't talk about the scars that created it. You transform those scars into weapons. You want to know why Arnold became a master of mind games? Because in the Schwarzenegger house, mind games weren't games. They were survival. Gustav's masterclass isn't the kind taught in military schools. It's taught at dinner tables where children learn to read mood swings like weather patterns. Where they learn that power isn't about being strong, it's about making others feel weak. Gustav demonstrates how to break someone's spirit between soup and schnitzel. Young Arnold takes notes, not on paper, in his nervous system. On your left we have Meinhard, the golden child, the shining hope, the one who gets to eat without having his masculinity questioned. Meinhard, the good boy, obedient boy, heir to nothing boy, dead at 24 boy. But this isn't his story. On your right we have Arnold, the spare parts, the backup plan, the one who's learning that fear has a smell and it's usually mixed with urine. Meinhard got the praise, Arnold got the lessons. Guess which one turned out to be more valuable in the long run? The thing about being the weak son is this: you don't get to be weak just once. You have to audition for the role every single day. You have to prove you're pathetic enough to justify everyone's disappointment. The Doctor's Office, 1955, little Arnold, sick again, always sick. His body betraying him like it's on Gustav's payroll. The doctor says, constitutional weakness. What he means is, this kid's body is keeping score. Arnold's scoreboard, aged 8. Times you pissed yourself in fear, lost count. Times you made Gustav proud, 0. Times you watched Meinhard win, every damn day. Times you plotted revenge, not enough, yet. The villagers? They knew. The Schwarzenegger name was whispered in doorways and spat across dinner tables. The family that nobody wanted to acknowledge, led by a father who made sure that everybody had to. In the streets of Thal, the Schwarzenegger boys, drunk on stolen authority, were running their own crash course in power dynamics. When your father's the police chief, you learn that power isn't just about strength, it's about immunity. Some poor bastard kid loses their school bag to the river. A little girl thrashed with stinging nettles. The milkman, ambushed, goes home crying, and nobody dares say a word. Because when daddy owns the law, you own the consequences, or rather, the lack of them. The headmaster, her stanza, prayed to be rid of them. But here's the thing about prayers. They're just wishes without power behind them. Every monster is just a victim who got tired of auditioning for sympathy. Every monster is just a student who surpassed the master. The way your father hits you isn't as important as the way you hit back. Arnold's revenge isn't a fist to the face. It's success. It's escape. It's becoming so fucking big that Dale becomes a dot on a map, becomes a paragraph in a biography, becomes nothing. Picture a bedroom small and cramped, posters of men who look like gods. Steve Reeves, Reg Park, men bigger than life, men who didn't get slapped around at dinner. This wasn't decoration, this was a roadmap. This is a vision board for the apocalypse of the self. You know that scene in a movie where the underdog finally wins? This isn't that story. This is the story of a kid who decided winning wasn't enough, who looked at winning and said, that's just the beginning. How to build a titan in 3 easy steps. Number 1, kill the weak boy. Number 2, replace him with something better. Number 3, keep going until reality catches up to the fantasy. Every superhero needs an origin story. But here's the trick. You don't wait for radioactive spiders. You become your own catalyst. The secret? Talk about yourself in the third person. Arnold needs this. Arnold will do that. Arnold doesn't feel pain. It's not disassociation. It's tactical self-objectification. When you're both the sculptor and the clay, you need room to swing the hammer. The body came first. Before the words, before the mind games, before the mastery of the room, strength was something that could be built, measured, sharpened into a weapon. While others played, Arnold trained. While others accepted their limits, Arnold shattered his. 1 rep, 1 set, 1 more than yesterday, always 1 more. The gym becomes your church. Iron becomes your priest. Pain becomes your confession. This isn't body dysmorphia. This isn't delusion. This is war. Welcome to the factory, the forge, the chrysalis. Brick by brick, rep by rep, choice by choice. Fear dies and something stronger takes its place. I can't becomes Arnold must. I'm afraid becomes Arnold doesn't lose. It's where the son of Gustav becomes something Gustav could never touch. Gustav Schwarzenegger wanted to raise a son. Instead, he created his own obsolescence. Arnold took everything his father ever was, refined it, mastered it, and used it to own the world. This is how legends happen. Not with a bang, but with a bench press. Not with permission, but with defiance. Not with acceptance, but with a barbaric yawp that sounds like, I'll be back, but means, I was never really here in the first place. While some wait for history to remember them, Arnold would make sure it never forgot. Now, imagine that same village, that same house, that same dinner table. But the chair is empty. And somewhere in a galaxy called Hollywood, in a universe called America, a star is being born. Not born, built. This is how you make a legend. This is how you become Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger.